All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And a little earlier this morning, I went and took the weather app that we created in React, and I put it out to GitHub Pages. All right, so I deployed it out there. I'm now going to I've copied it over again, and so it's starting brand new, so to speak, to deploy the same app to Netlify. I have no idea if it'll work or not. All right, but I'm going to follow the same steps I gave you. All right, so hopefully now you've got a fifth choice in here, and the one that you'll choose is none of these, but you'll choose to watch the first video that I made where I deployed this out to GitHub Pages. Your site is live, exactly what I showed you, and there it is. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to deploy the same site right here. I'm going to attempt to deploy that to Netlify. All right, I have copied it back in again, so all the stuff we had before was gone. There's no GH pages in here. The package.json, just so you see it. I'm going to bring the thing up in a minute, but just so you see it, if GH pages is in there, notice there's no pre-deploy and deploy. There is no home page. There is no dependency in here for GitHub Pages. So all that stuff is gone. So I'm going to come in here, bring this up. So there it is. I'm going to bring it up in VS Code. All right. So let's close this. I'm not going to add any of that stuff, but what I am going to do is an npm, or try to, npm start. I want to see if it still works. All right, so you've seen this before. And again, we'll put in St. Louis now. There you go. Everything looks good. It virtually looks the same as the other one. All right. All right. But again, that one is under GH pages. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to follow the same steps. So let's do a kill. Oops. npx kill minus port 3000. So we're sure nothing is running. So let's clear this. Boom. Now I'm going to start following the steps in here. All right. Again, I'm not going to do this uninstall, so just forget that. Now, it says here that it wants an npm run build. What I have found is sometimes when I attempt to deploy this to Netlify, it wants to build, and other times it doesn't. So I'm not going to do that. We've already done a git init. We've already done a git add dot. We've already done the git commit. We've done all those already. But since we recopied everything over, let's just reproduce those. In other words, let's do a git init, a git add dot, and a git commit. And now we're going to say -m attempt to deploy to Netlify. All right, so we've got all that done. And I'm going to do my git push -u origin master. Now I might get an error if it doesn't recognize the path, but let's see. All right, hopefully that's all good. Let's go back and let's refresh and see if in here, all right, I'm going to go back into just regular GitHub, so let me refresh. And I'll leave that up. That's okay. It doesn't hurt anything. So let's just go up to github.com. And for a repository, let's put in weather here. There it is, React Weather App MAME. It says your master branch isn't protected. I don't know exactly what that means, but it says here deploying to GitHub Pages. And now notice the package lock JSON attempt to deploy to Netlify. So again, I'm going to follow the steps. There are not many of them, but let's look. Oops, that's right here. So we basically have done everything through step 6. So I'm going to go out to app.netlify.com. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go back and try to do a build and then try it again. So app.netlify.com. Click the GitHub button. They actually don't have to do that. Go to add new site, import from existing project. So add new site, import from existing project. All right. Then next we are to choose deploy with GitHub. All right. That should bring up a search box in here. And I'm just going to type in weather and hit enter, and hopefully it'll find it. There is our weather app React main right there. Now, I don't know if I need to build it or not, so I'm trying to do it without building it first. And I'm going to click deploy weather app, and we'll see if it works. Now, normally this doesn't take very long. So if it's going to take 5 minutes or more, it probably isn't going to work. All right, so then I would recommend that rather than doing it through here, you try to do it through GitHub Pages. But we're going to give it a couple of minutes here. I tried doing this at my house this morning. My internet went down. It failed. All right. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to grab this error message that's in here. All right. And I'm going to see if I can make it work. All right. So let me copy this error message over. All right. So it says here, failed during stage building site, build script returned non-zero exit code 2. And I'm going to put in here Netlify error. Like that. And it's going to give me a few different things I can check on. All right. I think I tried this one and it didn't do anything, but I think this one worked. So I'm going to try this one here. And you'll notice asked 26 days ago, modified 26 days ago. So it can't be much newer than that. Well, and it looks like nobody is given an answer, so that isn't the one that I looked at. It's all right. Related. All right, here's a related one. It's the same thing, so let's look at that one. All right, this was 3 years ago, modified a month ago. All right. So I'm going to go and try to do all the stuff they show here, and I'm going to see if it works if I try it. And if it doesn't, I'll try another one. All right. So it says start by going out to site settings. I don't know where that is, and I really don't. So let's see. Site configuration. Not logs, not metrics. Site overview. Site information. Delete site. Well, let's see what they're telling us to do here. They want us to go to site settings. So it says build and deploy. General and build and deploy. There's a build and deploy. All right. Well, there's a start. And from there, it says continuous deployment and environment. Well, we're at continuous deployment, according to that. And we want environment. So I'm going to click on environment variables right here. All right. Select build and deploy from the dropdown. Select continuous environment tab. Under the build settings, select edit settings. So build settings, edit settings. There's an edit settings. That's the one I'm going to try. All right. Learn more about save, etc. All right, I think we're going to have to add an environment variable as they show right here, but let's look. Change the build command so it looks like this. CI equals npm run build. You know what? Let's try one thing before we do this. Let's just try one thing. All right? And that is I'm going to even stop this. And I'm going to try to build it first. So let's do that. So I'm going to go back to the project here. And I'm going to run npm run build. What that should do is, it's according to this, we've got a build folder. So let's delete that. And that should go in and create a build folder for us. And you can see it's there. I don't think this is going to do diddly, but we're going to try it anyway. So let's go back to Netlify. Add new site, import from existing, deploy with GitHub, go over to here, and I'm going to type in weather, hit enter. Should only be the one, hopefully. Well, there's two, but that isn't bad. So it's that one. All right, so right there, it has been built. All right. So let's try to deploy it and see if it runs this time or it doesn't run this time. My guess, it won't run. Now it says no deploy message. If this changes to an error or something else, we'll stop and we'll continue on from there. It failed, as you can see. So I'm thinking this isn't the one that I tried before. This has got a lot of steps in it. And I'm thinking there's another one in here. Usually the actual error message is somewhere else in your build log. Okay. It says it's a general message that can fail for a lot of reasons. That isn't really helpful. It says here, set the correct publish directory. Well, let's look in here. So let's start by backing up here. Deploy with GitHub again. Again, we'll put in weather. So let's look in here. Branch to deploy, base directory. I've always left that blank. Build command. We already had a build in there. Publish directory is build. Let's reverse this. All right. And we already had a build directory in there. So let's come in and let's remove the build directory. All right. I mean, normally I wouldn't go jacking with this stuff like this, but I'm trying to get this to work to show you the way it should work. All right. So that should all be okay. I don't know what's going on here, but try this again. Weather. All right, we're going to try to deploy it now. Now it does not have a build directory in it or folder in it. So I have no idea. If it still doesn't work, we're going to try something else. You've already got a video that shows you how to make this work with GitHub Pages. All right. Normally, I wouldn't recommend GitHub Pages. This is typically simpler. But as you can see, not right now, it's not. It failed. So that isn't what it was. So let's go back to here again. I've never done anything like that. I don't think that's what it is. So it's the same thing. I don't want to do that. This gem file, I don't even know what that is, so I'm not going to do that. This is the one I looked at before, so we're not going to do that. It had to have been one of these. I know I looked at one before. There wasn't that much that we had to do to get it to work. And it wasn't here. I didn't think it was the first one, though. That was all that stuff that they wanted us to do. Nope. Yeah, this is the other one that I showed you. And I don't think it, I tried doing this yesterday. I had a student who had this problem, and it didn't work doing all this. Let's see, following these steps, I was having the same issue until I did this instead. I think this may have been what I did. So go to Site Settings. Let me close a bunch of this junk that's open here. So go to Site Settings. I'm going to back up one here. All right. Team settings? No, I don't think so. We're not working with a team. Settings, general, team overview, sites, builds. So you can see all these that failed, and I had one that succeeded. All right, why that one did and the other ones didn't, I don't know. Good gosh. All right, so we're right here, and I think this is where I want to be. Not under integrations, though. It's in here someplace. I wonder if I search Netlify for the error. So I'm searching Netlify itself, if it's going to find anything. All right, so it says the error typically indicates there was an error during the build process of your site. This could be due to a variety of reasons. Well, that doesn't really help much. Check your build command. Check your dependencies. Check your build scripts. Check your publish directory. Let's look at that. So we'll check our publish directory. All right, so let's go back to here. It really didn't help much, but that's okay. No, it's not the one. Jeez, Jeff. There it is. Okay. Now, base directory. Publish directory. They want to publish it into build, but if you look in there, we've removed build. It's not in there. But we did get an error. So let's try it twice. We'll try it like this and see if it works. All right, I'm going to try it like this and see if it works. My guess is it will not. And again, we do not have in here a build folder. All right, we want to publish it into there, but we don't have one. So I'm going to see if this fails. If it fails, I'm going to do a run build and try it again. All right, the good news is it hasn't been taking too long before it's giving me a message that it either succeeded or it failed. When I did this in class, as I think you saw it, it went pretty fast. All right, doesn't like that. So we're going to do this. We're going to go back again to the Let's Deploy, but before we do that, I'm going to come back into here. I don't have a build folder, so I'm going to run npm run build. That should build the project, and it should give me a build folder now in here. There's the build folder. All right, looks good here. So let me clear this, and let's try it again and see if that does anything. So I'm going to search again for weather. There it is. And I'm going to try to deploy it again. See if I get the same error message. When I helped a student with this, I went in and grabbed one of those things from Stack Overflow that you saw and played with it and got hers to work. I don't know what I did to make that work. I don't remember. It's been a while. So if this fails, I'm not going to be pleased. And it failed. All right, well, at least it's failing quickly. Forget that as Netlify. All right. I'm going to try to do this stuff that's shown right here. All right, so go to Site Settings, Build and Deploy. And then again, I don't remember where this was. So let's try Site Configuration. There's Build and Deploy. All right. Continuous Deployment, Build Settings, Edit Settings. Continuous Deployment. Build Settings. Now it wants Edit Settings, and it wants you to edit your build command. There's the build command, but I'm going to click Configure here to see if I can change that. So this build command, which is npm run build, change that to CI equals npm run build. Make sure there's a space there between the CI equal and the npm run build. All right. So that's what we've got here. In published directory, write build. It already says build, so I shouldn't have to repeat that. Go to environment, edit variables. All right, environment, well, there's environment variables. All right, and I think I want to go in here and add a variable. Add a single variable. You must write in key CI and value false. Key CI and for value false. All right, I'm going to double check that. Key CI value false. Click on Saves. I think it's just the create variable, to be honest with you. All right. So we now have that variable in here, or we should. Go to deploys, and in the second section, click on the trigger deploy and select clear cache and deploy site. I did not do this before, but we're going to look anyway. So go to deploys, which of course I don't see here. All right, go to deploys. All right. And in the second section, click on Trigger Deploy. Second selection. There's the Trigger Deploy. All right. Click on Trigger Deploy, select Clear Cache and Deploy Site. Trigger Deploy, Clear Cache and Deploy Site. All right. I don't know right now. It's building something, but I don't know what it's doing. It says it's deploying my site. Well, we'll see. I didn't know I had the site out there yet, but maybe I did. All right, initializing complete. Building is in progress. Said complete. Everything according to this now worked. All right. So open production deploy. And looky, it's right there. Now that was a big pain in the butt. All right, as you saw, but it's working. Now I want to do one more thing. All right, and that is, let's see. Like I said, it worked. I've opened it. So let's see. I'm going to go back to Site Overview, which is right here. And I'm going to click Site Configuration. And I'm going to change the site name from Papaya Frangello or whatever it is. It's going to go to React Weather App Main. Save. The name is already taken. How about React Weather App? Is that taken? Yes, it is. How about React Weather App 2? That's taken. How about, let's just give it a big number, 444. There you go. So it's now should be under here. It is now working, and it is now under, let's see, did I keep that one? No, I don't want this. All right, there's the other one. So I now have two versions of this working. You can go look under either one of those. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to stop this right now. It's a lot longer than the other one was, as you can see. This was the site I went to, just so you know. All right, I went to this site here, right there, and, all right, I went down, I did the steps at the bottom of this site. So that stuff that's down here. In other words, where the guy said, wherever that was, so it's right here. It says follow these exact steps, as I was having the same issue until this as stated. So I'm going to put here to these steps. All right, from there. All right. You will get this from me in just a couple minutes. Thanks.